In this session, we are going to learn about micturition. It is a part of human excretory system. Micturition is the process by which the urinary bladder empties when it becomes filled. So, what is the micturition? When the urinary bladder is filled with urine, it will be emptied, means that urine will be excreted out. That is called as micturition. Then what is the mechanism of micturition? That we have to know. This micturition involves two main steps. The first one is the when the bladder fill progressively until the tension needs wall rises above the threshold level. So above the threshold level means there is a limit, the maximum limit. Then the second step is that causes a nervous reflex. That reflex is called as micturition reflex. So this reflex will empties the bladder. This is one option. And another is, if this emptying is failed, then it causes a conscious desire to urinate. Although the micturition reflex is autonomic spinal cord reflex, it is not controlled by our brain. It can also be inhibited or facilitated by the centers in the cerebral cortex or brain stem. Normally, urine is temporarily stored in urinary bladder. The two sets of circular sphincter muscles are present in the bladder. When bladder fills up, both these muscles constricted. As pressure of the urine is increases in the bladder was stretched, and that stretching triggers the automatic reflex action. Then the upper sphincter relaxes, means that opens. See here, this is the urinary bladder, and this is the upper sphincter, and then the lower sphincter. This when this bladder is filled with urine and the walls are stretched, then the upper sphincter will be relaxed, it is opened. So lower sphincter is under control of brain. This is the lower sphincter which is under the control of brain. So here the upper sphincter, when it is relaxed, it is the autonomous action, but the lower sphincter is under control of the brain. So see here, it is still closed. So urine still retained until this lower sphincter relaxes. Control of urination is not possessed by very young children, but it is gradually learned. Then urge of micturition occurs when urinary bladder is filled with 300 to 400 ml of urine, milliliters of urine. This stretches the bladder and stimulates nerves to develop the reflex. So then urine can be retained in the bladder till gets up to the maximum capacity to 700 to 800 ml. So here we have to notice that. So the urge of micturition occurs at 300 to 400 ml of urine, but so we can retain this urine in the bladder up to the maximum capacity of 700 to 800 ml. At this time, so when it is 700 to 800 ml, at this time the urge becomes painful and lead to the voluntary micturition. The total amount of urine excreted per day is about 1.6 to 1.8 liters. So here in this micturition, the urine is released from the urinary bladder in two steps.